That's why I got it in my left arm.
Okay. Okay, Mayor, we are here on the April 20th Town Council meeting 2021 conference session, 7 o'clock. Tara, you want to read the Open Public Meetings Act?
Sure. Adequate notice of this meeting, as required by the Open Public Meetings Act, was provided through the posting, mailing, and filing of the annual notice of regularly scheduled meetings of the Town Council on December 11, 2020. The notice was, on that date, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, provided to the Westfield Leader in the Star Ledger, and filed with the clerk of the Town of Westfield.
Great. Well, thank you. I'm just, I see, Jim, I got you on. Okay, good. You're promoted. Promoting a few others. A couple of things to talk about tonight beyond this, the regular agenda items. As you saw on the agenda, we have a nice announcement to make tonight. We have been designated and named as a Tree City USA, which is a bit of a process to go through. I see I have Greg O'Neill on. I did promote Donna and Donna Kahneman from the Tree Preservation Commission, and also Robbie Kosielek, our Tree Forestry Division Supervisor, to come on just to be recognized, say a few words. But let me just talk about it for a minute. So last year, Tree Preservation Commission had suggested we apply for this. Thanks to Donna Kahneman on the Tree Preservation Commission had suggested that. We made application in December as for their deadline of 2020. It took a little while, but the mayor and I got a letter, and Greg O'Neill as well, about a week and a half ago from the Tree City USA, which is sponsored by the Arbor Day Foundation, and that we have been named Tree City USA. And let me just for a second read a little blurb from the letter. I think it's important to kind of look at that. So on behalf of the Arbor Day Foundation, we'd like to congratulate the town of Westfield on earning recognition as the 2020 Tree City USA. Residents of the town should be proud to live in a community that makes planting and care of trees a priority. The town of Westfield is one of more than 3,600 Tree City USA communities in the country, with a combined population of 155 million across the country. Tree City USA program is sponsored by the Arbor Day Foundation in partnership with the U.S. Forestry Service and the National Association of State Foresters. If there ever was a time for trees, now is that time. Communities worldwide are facing issues with air quality, water resources, personal health and well-being, and energy use. The town of Westfield is stepping up to do its part. As a result of your commitment to effective urban forest management, you are helping to provide a solution to these challenges. So that's really exciting news, obviously well deserved for the town of Westfield. A couple of things that they sent us and we're going to be putting into place. Today, we raised our Tree City USA flag on Town Hall's flagpole. So that is up today. Flags are still at half staff, so it's a little lower than normal, but it will be a little higher when we go back to full staff. Number two, you see Donna's background, that Tree City USA sign. We received a few of those as well. Greg O'Neill and his staff will be posting those on entrances to the town this week. We also received this wonderful plaque, Tree City USA plaque, which will be actually hung in Town Hall. We can all see it when we get back here, hopefully very soon. And we also are going to we have a planned tree planting for Earth Day and Arbor Day this Thursday, Memorial Park area. And we're going to use that as another way to promote the fact that we've been named as Tree City USA, and of course to promote Earth Day and of course Arbor Day planting. So just a great community effort. And I wanted to just thank and recognize Jim Boyes as the council liaison at TPC, Donna Kahneman as a member of TPC, obviously Greg O'Neill, Public Works Director, and Robbie Kosielek, who is here. I don't see his camera on. He's probably a little shy, but he's here just to be recognized. This can't happen without those volunteers and those employees. So let me turn it over to Jim Boyes and say a few words and see if anyone wants to say something else, Donna or Greg or Robbie. Go ahead, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. I just want to thank everyone involved in this effort, including yourself for handling the application and getting all the materials to the Tree City USA folks. Obviously the DPW, including Greg O'Neill, and obviously Robbie Kosielek, and also my fellow tree commissioners who have made Westfield obtaining this Tree City USA designation a priority. And for that, I would like to just turn it over to Donna, because I know she was really one of the driving forces for getting this designation. Donna?
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Jim. I'm very proud of the partnership between the town's office, the town engineer's office, the administrator's office, the DPW, and our committee, the Tree Preservation Committee of Westfield, to bring this to light. This, as Jim mentioned, this has been a process. I wrote a letter to the mayor in January of 2020, and who knew what at that time what kind of year we were going to have. Just basically bringing this to her attention and saying, hey, what about us? We do everything that these other towns have been doing, and we should be part of this Tree City USA community. Basically, I felt as though that this designation and being part of this alliance is important to Westfield, because just like Cranford and Rawway and Summit, Westfield and Fanwood, Westfield cares about its trees. And it's also aligned with our new strengthened tree ordinance. Our goals to celebrate, protect, preserve, replant, and elevate awareness about our neighborhoods and our environment. So for those reasons, it felt like a good match, and I can't wait to see all of the road signs as I come into Westfield that say, welcome to Westfield, you know, a Tree City USA community. That'll make me feel even prouder. It basically provides a framework for community engagement and how to manage and expand public tree and protect the canopy. And so these things are all good for Westfield. And I just want to thank everybody for sticking with us and filling out the application. And everything got delayed because of the pandemic, but we did hold an Arbor Day in October, and the mayor made that a proclamation that our special Arbor Day is not necessarily going to be everybody else's Arbor Day. Our Arbor Day is going to be in October. So,
Dr. Councilman Agrippa, I just wanted to thank you for all you've done. It was a pleasure working with you the 2 years prior, and just the history of the Tree Preservation Committee. I think 7 years ago is when we changed the ordinance, so it's been a work in progress. I really appreciate your efforts and Mark Nissom's efforts in getting this done over the past couple of years. So thank you.
Thank you, Mark. And I forgot to thank, my other fellow commissioners for making this happen. Holly, Shannon, Mark, Jim, and Tricia. So, and Ross. So thank you for them as well.
Thank you.
Great. I know Greg and Robbie, I think, are on. I think they're having some audio problems. Greg, can you hear us? Can you talk or no? Maybe not. I see a mask. I'm letting him speak, but he's not able to speak. Well, again, Greg O'Neill, Robbie Kosciolek, again, as I mentioned before, again, this doesn't happen without their input and, of course, planting the trees. And part of the application process, just so you know, we had to submit years worth of tree planting records and so forth, and enables them to start calculating what we're spending per capita. And we really have spent a lot of money on trees, rightfully so, in this town the past number of years, planting a lot of trees, with the pandemic year being less than normal, but still a high number of trees was planted last year. So it's just a great accomplishment by everybody. So again, exciting stuff. I'll mention it at the public meeting as well, but signs will be going up, the flag is up, the plaque will be going up in town hall, and this is only the beginning. We have to, this is every year thing now. We have to continue to maintain this and do plantings and which I know we'll do, but it's exciting. So thanks again, Donna, and to Jim and the Tree Preservation Commission, and just all good news. So.
And Donna, I'll just thank you for your persistence and perseverance through this. I was thinking about that earlier today. It was over a year ago when we first talked about it, and who knew? And you really, I don't know if this would have happened if you hadn't really just,
No doubt.
been unflappable. So anyway, and just kept driving. So we're really grateful, and this is so glad that we got the recognition that you really were the driving force behind. So thanks.
It was a team effort, and I take my persistence cues
you,
from
Tom.
Dawn.
Well, you learn from the master.
Yeah.
Don, I don't know if you said Robert Newell as well, sir.
Yes.
So Rob, those you don't know.
Yes.
Out there.
It goes without saying that this was a special project in memory of Robert.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks again, Donna. Thanks, Greg and Robbie as
Thank
well.
you, Donna.
Great job.
Much.
Excellent.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Well, let's jump into the meeting. So we have under Finance Policy Committee, we have 9 resolutions. Big night tonight, budget hearing tonight, and of course, budget adoption we hope tonight. So first 4 are really ministerial. So resolution authorizing CFO draw warrant to the Treasurer State of New Jersey for marriage license and civil union licenses fees. Second resolution authorizing CFO to draw warrant for Recreation Department refunds. 3 is a resolution authorizing CFO to draw warrant for overpaid taxes in 2021. 4 is a resolution authorizing CFO to draw warrant for 2020 overpaid taxes pursuant to the State Court of New Jersey. 5 is a resolution to appoint building subcode official. As I indicated to you in my email, when we actually appointed our new electrical subcode official, the DCA said they didn't have a record of the appointment of Gary from a couple of years back, so we're just complying with that. So it's a retroactive appointment. 6 is a resolution authorizing CFO to sign biweekly warrants for PBA employee salaries effective January 1st, 2021. This is the beginning of the process. Tonight, we do expect we'll be adopting the ordinance for the PBA contract. So this gives the payroll officer the ability to start calculating retros for 2021, which is a short window of time since January of this year. Next meeting, you'll see the resolutions for 2020 and 2019. And over the course of the month of May, we'll be giving those retroactive payments to the PBA. Number 7, 8, and 9 are all budget related. Resolution to read municipal budget by title, which is normal resolution by year, annually. 8 is a resolution to adopt the SID budget, the Special Improvement District Downtown Westfield Corporation budget as presented. And also number 9, a resolution to adopt the municipal budget 2021. And so again, we have a public hearing tonight at the 8 o'clock meeting to hear anyone from the budget, and then the council will have the ability to adopt those budgets tonight. And again, another successful year, I think, and a good accomplishment. But again, as we always say, the budget is merely a plan, and we're adopting what we planned, and we'll see how the rest of the year takes us. But I'm excited to get that finished. I know, so I thank the department heads for all their input, and of course, managing the budget, the balance of the year. So that's it under finance. Anything, Linda? Anything? Exciting night, right? Okay. Under Code View and Town Property, we have 2 resolutions, 1 ordinance. Resolution referring report and recommendations to the planning board for 923 Central Avenue to designate as that property is historic. This is work of the HPC to do another designation of a property. That's our referral to the planning board. Number 2, resolution is a resolution to award a contract for wireless telecommunications tower lease consultant. If you remember, we went out to RFP seeking companies to do this work to assist the town to help develop an RFP for potential cellular communications facility at Houlihan Sidfay Field property. So this will be a award of contract to that consultant to come on board to assist us. And as I said, the ordinance, as will be under the this committee from our Promise Committee, is ordinance number 2214, an ordinance designating 923 Central Avenue, shown on the tax maps as block 4813, lot 32, as an historic landmark, and modifying the zoning map. So that's first reading tonight. Again, that'll go to the planning board as well, and then that'll all come back to the council for ultimate adoption after the planning board reviews it. So that's it under our Code View and Town Property. Any questions? No. Okay. Under Public Works Committee, we have a few resolutions there. First, a resolution requesting that Union County explore implementation of its deer management program within a certain area of free. I'll just say a few words. I know Councilman Contract and talk about it. Public Works Committee talked about this as well. For the past 2 years that we've been involved in the deer management program at the county, there's been a section of Ward 3 that is many residents have asked for the deer management system to be there. The county's been unable to do it for various reasons. So Councilman Contract's trying to work with other communities, and we're asking the county to assist us in exploring the partnership with, I guess, both Clark and Cranford to begin that process to see if it'll be viable to run a program in this area. Councilman, you want to talk a little more about it?
No, that's a good summary. I mean, I think some may remember we attempted to run the county program 2 years ago in this section of Ward 3 right along the Cranford and Clark border. The county was uncomfortable without all the residents supporting. And despite a lot of efforts that I put into this across the 3 communities, we haven't been able to connect with all the residents. So in talking with our commissioner, Muded, as well as the head of the county DPW, the recommendation was made that Westfield should formally ask for the county's assistance through this resolution to organize the 3 communities so we can, get the help we need to address this really major issue in Ward 3 for some residents who live along these woods. So I'm happy that we're bringing this resolution tonight. I hope the entire council supports it because it is an issue that needs to be addressed and we need the county's help.
David, just real quick, what's changed though in the past 2 years when the county said that area wasn't large enough to do the hunt? They couldn't confirm if the deer was shot that it wouldn't pass on someone's private property.
So the county's concern has always been that they want the residents to sign off on it. They want to hear from every resident who lives in the area. And that's what I endeavored to do. I actually held a resident meeting. We passed out flyers and we weren't able to get enough residents. So I think the county, by working directly with the other town governments in Cranford and Clark, can help us make sure we can get all the residents to talk about it. The county's happy to run the program. They're comfortable running the program as long as all the residents who live adjacent to the woods support it. And that has been the holding, that's been the sort of the impediment to running the program thus far.
But just what's the scope of the residents though? Because I do know residents.
Only residents who live adjacent to the woods. So if your backyard backs up to the woods, the county wants to hear from you. If you live across the street, it's not relevant. The county wants to talk to the residents who live exactly next to these woods.
So it's Grandview.
These woods border 3 towns. But it's Grandview, it's
Maryland, Delaware.
Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, that area.
But also it's the properties in those surrounding towns that back up to the woods too. That's why, hence the 3-town partnership. And the county was agreed to, if we do this resolution, agreed to try to, get all 3 communities to work together, which should be very helpful to have their assistance. So.
I mean, I'll let our council know that I even reached out to Hyatt Hills, which is probably where the deer spend a lot of their time, and asked them if they would be open to running the program on their property, and they declined. They operate their golf course year round and they don't want to close their golf course for it. So I have gone out of my way to try to explore different solutions. This is the best one that's available to us right now. At least to have the conversation. We're not authorizing the program in this area. We're just requesting the county's help to organize the residents so that we can have the conversation and have them present.
Okay. Second resolution is a resolution authorizing change order number 1 for the 2020 improvement of Scotch Plains Avenue. And the third resolution is a resolution to award contract professional engineering services. This is something that's been in the process for a long time. I want to thank Chris McAloon for finally getting this to our table and getting an updated information on this. So this will be bringing a consultant on board to do some necessary DEP work, inspections, as well as reporting and permit applications. Also a hydrology and hydraulic analysis in the Minnewaska tributary from North Euclid that feeds to the flume, the concrete flume that feeds to the pond. Also Fairview Cemetery tributary, which we are responsible for. So we're excited to get this started. After this process is finished, part of the scope of work here is not only to do the work, but then to create bid specifications for the next step to actually do physical work once the DEP approves permits. So it could be a little while, but it's important to get it started. And this is going to be good to get started and get that underway. So I know the residents over by Fairview and especially by Minnewaska should be hopefully very happy this is going to begin and get this process underway. So
Yes, Jim, thank you for getting that moved ahead. Do you have any idea when it might start?
I think, I mean, we'll be awarding the contract tonight, I hope, so we will contact the vendor, and I think, I don't know, Chris, I don't know if they gave a start date. I assume a month or two after we were able to start it. A lot of it's just field work. Am I missing something, Chris?
No, yeah, it should be relatively quickly once the award of contract is made, hopefully by the council tonight. Again, the initial review of the channels and that aspect of the study should be relatively quick. It does require DEP permits, and that's where the time delay will be.
To actually do the work, Chris, not to do
While the work is going to be whenever DEP approves or authorizes the permit. That probably will be later this year or possibly beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Based on our history.
Okay, yeah, I communicated with the neighbors that, we're doing the study part of it now and that it's probably going to be into next year before we can actually start to implement the solution, but we're getting started, so that's good.
And the other thing is.
NOACs will be very happy.
Yeah, that's a good point, Linda, because I think once this work is finished, we're gonna know what the true scope of the work needs to be. So that'll be the bid spec. So we're likely gonna have to go and authorize them a capital ordinance. Work to be done, and then go out to bid to hire a company to do that. This company we're hiring does the permitting and the analysis and study and produces the bid specs. We need another company to come in and do the work that will come in. So that'll likely be another capital ordinance, either as Chris said, later this year or next year to then come in and do the work. But DEP permits are required. So hopefully we can speed that process up.
Great.
But good.
Chris, if you could let me know when that's getting started, because I think some of the neighbors wanted to share some of their personal experiences with the engineer.
Sure.
Sure, we'll be able to do that.
Thank you.
I think one of the engineers actually in this firm is a Westfield resident or a former Westfield resident, right, Chris?
Okay.
I think, yeah, one of them is.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that, yeah, we can definitely arrange that.
Okay, great. Thank you for that.
Okay, so that's it for resolutions and ordinances on first reading. We have a second reading of an ordinance, of course, for the PBA contract. We have the public hearings for SID and budget. The last thing on the agenda under general business was just the request from the Unico Italian American Club for Columbus Day celebration. They're asking for either October 3rd or October 10th. They originally were planning this last year. Of course, it was not held due to the pandemic. They want to have a small celebration in Minnewaska Park in the bandstand. And maybe they suggested in their request a reception afterwards. And I guess right now on our calendar, there's nothing on those dates in Minnewaska. So I don't know if the council has any preference, the 3rd or the 10th, but it's usually an early morning. I think 8 or 10 o'clock kind of celebration in the morning. So, but if anyone has any specific dates, I was kind of thinking, obviously the 10th is the weekend of Columbus Day weekend, but again, they've offered either Sunday, the 3rd or 10th. If anyone has any suggestions.
Yeah, Jim, I would prefer the 10th.
Chief, you're still go ahead, David, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's right. I was just saying I would prefer the 10th. I know the Green Team would like to hold an EV car show during National Electric Drive Week, which is, I believe, September 25th through October 2nd. So I know Saturday was October 3rd was one of the dates that was under consideration.
Okay.
I was just going to say, Chief is, I think, the Master Grand Marshal, so I don't know if you had a date and preference.
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It kind of makes sense to do a Columbus Day weekend on that Sunday. That's what they've done in the past and had other things go on. So if everyone's okay with that, I'll write them a letter. Obviously, the normal protocols apply, and hopefully be a nice morning ceremony. Hopefully, be good weather, and then we can have your date open. If the final date comes through, David, for the Dream Team, that's fine too.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right. That was it under all the different resolutions and requests. Now, time for public portion by citizens. Anyone like to raise their hand and be heard? Give your name and address. You have 3 minutes to be heard. We have a few participants with us tonight. Anyone want to be heard? Feel free to raise your hand. I'll enable you to talk. Scott Olson doesn't want to say anything. He's CFO is waiting for the budget to be adopted next meeting. Okay. No one looks like they're speaking, as we can close the public hearing. Unless there's anything else. Anyone have anything else? No? Very nice and quiet. All right.
Jim, real quick, the projects, the traffic lights on, again, people asking me what happened. We're supposed to do March or April by Sig Fay Houlihan.
Yep,
And
I,
what's the good-
yeah, so we did get approval. I was gonna share it at the 8 o'clock meeting. I'll share it here as well. The county, actually, Chris was able to get information from them as of today. We knew you'd be asking the question. We're ready for you. So we wanted to make sure we had the information, but they've actually been doing work behind the scenes, which we were not aware of. Ordering equipment, there's a long lead time for a lot of this equipment, but the good news is they told Chris that they do expect physical work to start the week of May 24th. And that within a 3 to 6 week period, depending on weather and everything else, delivery of items, that physical work will start 24th, and then probably in the month of June, the light stanchions will be starting to be erected in both locations. So, and then of course after that's done, there'll be testing, power turn-ons and so forth. But hopefully, June, July, that should be all finalized. But physical work end of the month of May.
That's the same for one in the fourth ward, West
I
Broad?
believe we understand, Chris. I believe both at the same time, both simultaneously. So both Lambert's Mill and Broadway and West Broad and Scotch Plains.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have that before Memorial Pool open.
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, so that's what they told us. And again, a lot of factors are getting involved in these kind of projects, whether it be one or other things behind the scenes. But that's what they relate to us today. So that's good news. I think it's very good.
Thanks, Jim.
Jim, before we wrap, I just wanted to make sure that everyone on the council was aware that Mental Health Awareness Month is coming up in May, and there's a lot of things being planned by the Westfield Mental Health Council. The chiefs are aware of this. I think Dawn is, the mayor is, a couple other people, but we've created a brochure called to allow people to go through town through the Cake Crumb Trail. It's taking residents or guests to various spots to highlight different things about the characteristics of cake, compassion, acceptance, kindness, and empathy that are part of our stigma-free campaign in town. So it'll be stops at the police and fire department, at Veronica's Sensory Garden, at the Rainbow Crosswalk, and a number of other spots. I'll share with all of you the brochure that really looks terrific. We're asking all the business owners in town if they'd like to be part of the event, that they can put a decal on their shop window, and we're going to supply all of them with stickers. So as families are going through town, if the kids want to go in and do a sticker collection, it's just a way to create foot traffic into the businesses, and also increase awareness of mental health issues. So we're going to be promoting it. Kim's going to be helping us. So the whole month of May, we're going to have different Instagram posts every day to call attention to different events that are going on. You all saw the email from me about the mindfulness event that's going to be happening. Caring Contacts airing a film a couple days after that, talking about just shining a spotlight on suicide, and just there's going to be a whole bunch of things going on. So stay tuned and watch your Instagram and promote, please.
Great.
Jim, one last question. I don't know if anyone wants to take it. Brightwood Park, even though it's not Ward 3, I continue to get questions across the town. What's happening there? As far as I know, nothing at this time. We're still waiting for DEP approval. So if anyone could share what the latest is on that, because I hear from both sides, people for bike trails, people against it, and it just seems to be a lot of misinformation out there.
I can just tell you, Mark, that I've met with the Friends of Brightwood. They have been directed to work with the Recreation Department, which I believe they're going to be doing. And I've already started conversations with them about items that they want to see happen in the park. I think we discussed this already. There's no DEP approval that we're waiting for. We've gotten DEP input already. If indeed there's something that wants, if anything is to be prioritized by Recreation for Brightwood, that may or may not require DEP permits, but that's going to go through the Recreation Commission. So that's where it stands right now. Nothing's imminent, but Friends of Brightwood are going to be working with them to see what the next steps are. That's as far as I know.
And is there Green Acres approval as well, or that's not required?
Well, yeah, green, it depends on what it is. It's a Green Acres facility, of course. Green Acres approval is not really necessary for a lot of things. It's only if it's a significant change. I don't expect that to happen right now. So Green Acres approval is, they have to be notified on various changes to any park, but that's not really something that's on the table right now.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second,
So,
all in favor?
Yes.
All right, motion is carried, Tara, and we are off to 8 o'clock. Thanks, everybody.
See you in a few minutes.
Bye.
Bye.